Okay, so we're back with another day. Now I'm still using that old crappy mic. I noticed from the last few recordings that you can hear like literally everything that goes on the desk, pretty much clicking, moving of mouses, etc. At least it's not picking up the turbine computer next to me because that thing has been overheating for like the last week, and people in TeamSpeak have noted that it does sound like a jet turbine going off, and I'm hoping the noise suppression filters in OBS are catching it. I did do a test recording, and it didn't sound like it was picking it up, but of course my ears are a little congested from having a cold for the last couple of weeks as well. So let's go ahead and get back into this. Now, we're not going to hit up on the missiles right away. The first thing of business, I do have to go ahead and work on my commission mod for my client, or else he'll probably get a little frustrated that I'm not getting him content on a timely basis. The only thing we really got to do is just work a little bit on the gun positioning again, finish up some audio files, and I guess this is a good opportunity to kind of teach some of you how the armory mod works. So let's pop this open real quick. Let me close all my missile stuff. Missiles are pretty much done when it comes to the textures, by the way. It's just I gotta still do the positioning that I never got around to. I started working up on my class's Android app, which, by the way, I could show that. I haven't been told otherwise that I'm not allowed to show off the work I'm doing, because this is a what's called a Practium, which means it's a unique project that I don't think has duplications for it. Yeah, I'm also getting up late today, so I spent way too much time last night working, and that affected my sleep pretty bad. I was hoping to get like a full 6 hours of sleep or more. I think I ended up doing 4 hours of sleep, but I mean that happens. So I'll let this load up while Minecraft's cooking in the background and while my computer is turning into a furnace. I think the biggest thing that I need to do is just break the computer down and clean it again. One of the big problems is this computer does pick up dust really quickly, even though it does have dust filters on the inlets of it that are supposed to catch a majority of the dust, but it doesn't quite work. Yeah, so we got this running, so we'll go ahead and pop this up and take a look at what we're currently with the guns. Hopefully the speakers aren't going to backfeed into the microphone either. I do have headphones for this thing, but they're really crappy headphones. Anyways, one of the big things we need to fix is the RPG. That was a complaint actually directly from the client. So if we grab the RPG and we reload it, which I actually need to fix the reload key too. That's another thing that needs to be done. I can't right-click the aim it anymore. This is a problem with the lower physics, is that right-clicking does not aim the weapon. But if you hold right-click and you hit left-click, it will still fire, which tells me the logic is working, but not working as intended. Now, the plan right now may be to just go ahead and disable the lowering mechanics, because right now the weapon's in a lowered state. It's supposed to do that by default now with all weapons. Literally everything does that. The reason you don't notice it on things like the handguns, for example, is the handguns don't have a physical render for the lower state right now. So right now they just have their default state, which is right where it's at. And this is, of course, the third-person default state too, which I still say looks horrible. But you can aim this weapon. So, and then you can fire it. Only problem is it comes out of the aim state. That's another thing that needs to be fixed too. Not just for his mod, because what's going on is his guns are using the armory mod as a prefab. So we can work with and make guns really quickly. Because the alternative was I made weapons for him, and then I made custom renders for him, and then I made everything work. Although, to be honest, his expectations were really, 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 really low. So I could have gave him 2D popsicle sticks, and I think he would have been happy with that. After all, I mean, we are in Minecraft, so having 3D models in Minecraft by itself is a big step up from what we normally get. Because if you pop open, say, for example, a sword, if I'm on the right tab, so you get a sword, this is 2D. It looks 3D because there's some really cool physics that Mojang pulled off to make it look 3D. But in reality, this is a 2D object. It actually kind of looks nice too, when you think about it. It works for that, but if we go and we grab... Oh, let's grab the... I don't know if the ICT one's got a model on it now. I know the old version it didn't. I wonder if he's actually upped his game. No, see, he's still got this 2D texture, and you can't aim his weapon, so when you're walking around and you're firing it, it just coming right off your shoulder, which looks really, really bad. Now, in first person, it looks a lot better, of course, and you get this nice effect here, and I like his laser effect. I wanted to see if he got that off of Freesound, because I want to kind of reuse that. He's also using arrow physics too. Now this is like a really old weapon, so the current author who's working on it, this isn't his fault that stuff looks the way it is. It's just whoever made it went with the current expectations, and the current expectation is everything's two-dimensional. There's no 3D models or anything, like no 3D model for this. Even though things like this would look so nice if they had just even a slightly boxy 3D model. For example, this handgun we're using, it's literally just 2 boxes pretty much. If we get into third person, you can see that it's just got a grip and it's got a handgun. It does have a barrel. It did have sights on it for one point. It did have a trigger guard on it too, but our asset developer decided he didn't want to go through the whole process of texturing everything, which has been telling me that he just flat out hasn't been interested in working on any of the models anymore. And I've kind of just flat out stopped asking him too, because if he's just going to act lazy, it's no point. Luckily, we do have more modelers helping us. We got Alex, we got Grogger, Dragonlord may help us again. So, I mean, we're not in a bad spot for that. Anyway, so we got these, so we got to fix a few guns. We also got to work on audio. So we got a slight bang for this, and we do have an empty audio. Yeah, so you can hear the empty audio. We do have to customize this. We do need to do the slide of the clip into the weapon. We also need to work on the rifle here. So the rifle's got the same audio file as the handgun right now, but it needs to be slightly different. We also need like a bolt receiver audio on this. I don't think I'm going to go that far though. The main things we're going to focus on is fixing like rendering, for example. So like, yeah, the rendering doesn't work on the rifle when you aim it. And then getting a louder audio file. Now, I should already have one for this because we went through a couple weeks ago and I grabbed a ton of audio files off of Freesound and other sites, and I'm going to use as much as possible. I need to make sure I also credit those people as well. Usually I'm a little okay about that, but I don't think I kept a lot of their names properly. So I'll have to go figure out where I got them from. But yeah, so we got this. So right now I think the rifle's going to be the first thing to work on, so we need to fix the aiming state. Now, of course, we can do that via our JSON files, if I can find it. Close a lot of these. Need to plan these episodes out a little better. So yeah, we got the guns, we got the rifle, and we are working on the render. And then we'll be working on the effect as soon as I get done with the render. So let's check the third-person aim state. Yeah, so our third-person aim state isn't done either. Our unaim state looks okay. I mean, it's Minecraft. I don't think I can really make that look fine. I probably could lower it a little bit. It would look a little better than what it does, but I was trying to go for that fire from the hip style system, which is where you kind of hold it down underneath your arm and you just let the recoil slam backwards. Not a very comfortable way to fire weapons, by the way. I've done it a few times. Yeah, it works, but it's not recommended. But we want to work on the aim state here. So this would be first person aimed. So yeah, cool. We already have something in here. It's pretty much empty, and it looks like the rotation and stuff is actually okay on it. So we need to do our thing here. So VE debug render load data, and then we need to get our name of our model. So this would be this guy, and then we need a load state. This would be item.first.8. And do output, or actually need to do up and then output. This is where I kind of need a GUI. The idea for the GUI is to hang it off here to like the left here, because all your rendering is going to be on the right. But then again, you could probably switch it around and move it. Maybe I'll hug it up here on the top, or I'll probably make multiple positions, because it'd be kind of cool that instead of me typing this in, I had some slider bars. I could just go click, 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 so it just get that perfect, absolute positioning of everything. Be nice if I could figure out some way to correlate all the rotations together so I can figure out how they offset the model. Someone tells me that's not going to happen easily, because I've messed with other game engines before and they do similar things. Anyways, oh, I did not find a render state for item first. Okay. was like, why can't I do the output here? I was too busy talking and did not realize I messed up. That's right, because I added the gun to this aim state. Although, to be honest, I probably should have just left it without the gun on the word, because it aimed would be the same for a lot of things. Okay, and then we want to do output. The reason the keyboard is so loud on these is the microphone is literally hanging right over the keyboard, and I can't really do anything about that, because as soon as I move it, then the audio quality drops dramatically. This is not the studio mic, it's that 2001 little piece of crap I have. Okay, first thing first, we need to do this, then do that so I can get stuck in that state. Okay, so then we want to do set offset 0, 1, 0. That gets us really close. This is probably going to be 0.5. Yeah, that's just about it, actually. We just got to bring it back a little bit. So it'd be like negative 0.5. Rotate it a little bit, too, while we're at it. So set rotation. What was the previous rotation? 140, 25, negative 25. Oh, my dog is like perfect timing when it comes to bugging me. Yeah, she wants outside, of course. I did not mean to click a screenshot, but that works. 21. For some reason, 21 seems to be like the rotation value that works for this. Let's do this at 6. And then I need to bring this back just ever so slightly. Nope, other direction apparently. And that works. So that's pretty good. It's not like perfect. I mean, it literally looks like we're holding a stick out. I kind of need to fix it. It does look kind of bad. But while we're doing that, I'm going to really quickly pause here for a second so I can then let my dog outside. Okay, we're back. Yeah, my dog can't figure out that people do things, and the only thing she cares about is going outside. But I know she's not going outside to go to the bathroom. She just immediately went outside and then laid down on the concrete out there, rolled on her back, and then is sunbathing. That dog loves to sunbathe. And I pretty much let her do it, but I wish she wouldn't bug me during recordings. Because she'll wait. The thing is, I've been awake for a couple hours, and she hasn't asked to go outside but like one time right before I started recording, and then I let her back in as soon as I started recording, and then she wanted immediately back outside. I mean, this gun actually does work. Just that render state right there. So let's go ahead and tweak it some more. I need to do the rotation is what it needs to be worked on. Particularly this guy. That's my pitch rotation. That does not work at all. What was my previous on that? That was 25. This is where I don't really like what's going on with the rotation code, is that it's really painful to work on because it doesn't stack properly. It doesn't do like what you think it's going to do. So like I want to modify the pitch, which is this value right here. Actually, let me turn these last two to 0. Okay, so that did do exactly what I thought it was going to do. And I want 20. Yeah, see, I put 20 in there. It didn't rotate backwards. It rotates backwards and off to the side. Something tells me I know exactly how to fix this. Yeah, I have an idea. So Minecraft comes with some helpers. And I think they're turned on, which is the reason why I've been having so many issues messing with the gun rotations for a while. Is they're by default on, and I think I just need to come up with a way to turn them off. So we got Armory, Client, Item Gun Render. Now this extends the default item render, so in here there isn't actually that much. Actually, to be honest, there's actually a lot in here. Should use render helper. Now what I think I can do is just return false and everything. Yeah, because here we got entity rotation. Determinative for rotation effect should be used when rendering an entity item. Yeah, I'll leave that one on. Determines if the up and down bobbing effect should be used when rendering an entity. I don't care about that. Determines if the current equipped item should be rendered as a 3D block or a 2D block. Determines if the item should be rendered in a GUI slot as a 3D block. These... What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go, okay, if type equals item render type equipped, I think it is, then I'm just gonna flat out return false, just to test this. Like, no change. It's kind of cool, though. You know, I should probably keep that for reload. Actually, why in the world, when I twist that? Oh, that's shooting it forward, too, so you can see the grip. That's the grip what you're looking at right there. It's not the box mag. I was like, is that a box mag? It's like, no, that's not. That's a grip. So, oh man, it's like really screwed up. So that didn't do anything for us. I don't think we're getting a bobbing effect anymore, though. No, we're still getting the bobbing effect. So that's the thing. There's a lot of Minecraft code that goes on in the background that I wish I could just flat out turn off because it's just getting in the way. Because the thing is, this item, if we turn to 0 on all the rotations, it actually doesn't render too horribly. Yeah, so that's whoa, that's what it. Actually, no, man, that's horrible. It's out in front of us now. Yeah, this is where I need I need help when it comes to this. And it's rendered the same way all the way around, which tells me some kind of default rotation is being applied to it. So it's not like there's something wrong with the model itself, although there could be. I've had that happen before. So we know we want to handle the render type, and we've turned off. Actually, let's turn off all the render helpers. Let's be like true, everything gone. Oh, that had an effect. That broke everything. I mean, it's not making a difference. I mean, it isn't helping us render it any better, but it's actually worse. Because we got no rotation. Like when you're in this state, we have 0 rotation applied. But we do have a little easier time working on it, I guess? Complicated. I'm going to go ahead and revert it back, though, because is it making enough of a difference for me to have it removed? And plus it breaks all the other renders, so... That guy's broken. Let's, Actually, why is it when I change the rotation, it flips all the way out there? This is peculiar. It should rotate around... I think I'm looking at a bad model. Yeah, hold on. This might actually be what's causing most of our problems. Because the thing is, Minecraft doesn't have specialty code to render things at a certain position. It doesn't have any real code to do that. So when you're rendering something, it's using quite literally the model center point on the world in order to rotate and render. This actually means that it can be really hard to render things. It's the reason why I have pretty specific instructions when I tell people when they're making content for me that there's a way you need to hand the content to me or it just won't render properly in Minecraft. For machines, I always want the center point to be at the bottom of the machine in the very center because it makes rotation real easy. I just rotate the object. But when it comes to guns, it's supposed to be, the center point's supposed to be on the grip. That way when I'm rotating it, it feels like I'm actually rotating it in real life. If I rotate my hand to the left or right, the gun rotates to left and right. It makes it real easy to rotate it. What might be happening is that center point may not actually be correct. So let's go ahead. I'm in the wrong mod. I just realized that. Let's take a look at... Here we go. Wojujo's commission mod. Main, resources, assets, Wojujo, models. And we got the rifle here. I wonder if this will even even show properly. The center point. Okay, it's one model piece. It doesn't look like it's centered correctly, but I can't tell that from this program. I'm about to pop Blender open. I need to create some in-game systems so I can actually sit here and look at a model in-game and see its center points and everything. Get rid of this. File, import, wave object, and then I need to copy this path. And then we want the rifle. Okay, so it is actually centered perfect. Then why are we seeing this dramatic screw up on rotation though? Because it's not only is the model itself centered, it's the whole thing is put in the very middle of the world here, which is exactly where I told my modeler to put it. So why is Minecraft treating it like this, the rotation point? Because watch, if I do this, if I sit here and I rotate by 20 degrees, it's not rotating around that grip. It's rotating around some fixed point in the air. And it doesn't make any sense. Let's mess with this again. Well, I'm really breaching the thing of insanity. Repeat the same thing, expect different results. Still rotating around a visible center point. It's behind me now. So that center point is huge. It doesn't make any sense. It's gone now. Well, it's not what I wanted to do. It's below. I think maybe it's the camera. Some really weird things going on with the camera, because look where it's at now. Look how small it looks too. This is the reason I don't wear like OpenGL on most days. It's behind me now, most likely. Now there are some ways I can completely bypass everything on this. For example, we're using a player render up here to re-render parts of the player. I could go as far as to just completely take over the item render system just for my guns, and then disable all of the vanilla junk that is causing me as many problems as it is. It's a lot of work though. I need to kind of do it because this is just getting really stupid of where our center points aren't working correctly. And there's something messing with the center point, and I don't know what it is or what's going on. It could be a bug in my code, it could be a bug in their code. Now let's go browse through my code really quick before I start going down a path of wiping stuff out. And my dog went back inside. I shall return. Yeah, the first thing my dog does when I let her back inside, she goes straight to the food bowl. She's got this weird expectation that when I let her outside, there's going to be food magically on the bowl. Sometimes I feed her that way, sometimes I don't. I'm probably going to feed her after I'm done with this video, though. Let's try to figure out where my render state is. There's get render data, there's do backup, so it's going to be in the top up here. It's going to be in this class. let's see. Render item. Nothing special with our render item code here. So it's going to be our models that are going to have the most of the say on this. So that's going to be in the engine, or rather the core. And then should be JSON, models, maybe model data? Yeah, here's our, oh no, this is just a model. I need render data. Here we go, model state. Okay, so we scale it, we rotate it, then we position it. The order of operations in this could be messing with things. We could change it. But I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to rotate before you offset. At least that's how I've been doing it for a while. Let's take a Google real quick. OpenGL, order of scale, rotate, and translate. This is actually a commonly asked question up here, so we'll probably find a few things. I don't know what's going on there, but he's translating, scaling, then translating again. Not really helping him here. At least this one isn't. This one's more specific to 2D graphics. Okay, that's scale, rotate, translate, draw. So I'm doing it the same way. You know what, I probably should put it up here, Minecraft, and I might get maybe a little better results. That'll work. It's an old tutorial, but it might work. GL push, enable, disable. I don't really care about colors. Wow, that was not a very useful tutorial. It gives you the basics, so somebody like who's not me, it's really useful. Okay, that's not helpful. Dang. I'm not good at getting a useful thing in. I don't want to sit here just searching through stuff all day to kind of figure this out. Well, in the name of science, we switch it up. Okay, so that doesn't seem to have made any difference. And my dog is sitting on my foot. Why are you sitting on my foot for? I think that's her passive-aggressive way of telling me that she wants something. Set rotation. So we're still at 0, 0 rotation. So what happens when we change this to a 20? Did you notice that? It is rotating around the center point now. Not perfect, but it's working. This is the reason why it's the best ideal that if you ever have a question you can't answer, just screw with the code. That gets me exactly what I want. The only problem is, watch if I see that unaim, it just broke every other render. So we need a solution for that. Because I don't want to go through and redo all the renders again. That's just not what I want to do today. Although, it should be easier now. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're just going to work on this and get this going. And then I'll go ahead and, as soon as I'm done with this, probably cut it here and redo all the other renders myself here. Hello, rotation looks good. Let's change the pitch. Yeah, but now our pitch is acting as a roll. Wonder if, does that mean this will act as my pitch? No, that just didn't do anything. Why did that do anything? Oh, it did do something. I'm confused. Okay, that's rolling. Is this doing the same exact thing? Why are they both doing the same thing? Okay, is there something wrong with my code here? No, this looks correct. I don't even know. Something's wrong. Try this. We're rolling again. This is computer graphics for you. Okay, if we do it this way and then we also do it this way, it just rolls anyways. Although I think I got a pitch change on one of those. My gun is now upside down. Okay, so that does work. Okay, so something's feeling weird about this. So I know yaw for guarantee is around the y-axis. But maybe I've got this and this one mixed up, but that doesn't seem quite right. Definitely need more supporting code for doing all this. It doesn't make sense why, if I have, say, 90 degrees on this, which that command didn't even fire off, that when I want to just do something like this, all of a sudden I'm rolling to the right. And then if I do the same exact thing, I get the same exact result. That shouldn't happen. So let's check my command structure and see if there's something messed up with it. Actually, I should be able to just do output here. Yeah, I mean, it says it's a 20 in that direction, and that's being pulled exactly as is. Let me go check to make sure roll is returning. It's returning roll. And we're doing rotated D, which it should work. Maybe we're having a matrix problem here, which I have no clue how to fix. So yeah, fixing one problem breaks another. that now facing a different direction than it was a couple seconds ago? No, it's still the same position. Doesn't make any sense. So translating first fixes our offset position. Could it be the scale? Scale doesn't seem to have modified anything. Not that we had a scale. Which is weird because we should have one. Well, it's not active anymore. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and re-enable it though. So that's not going to be the problem. Let's go ahead and set a scale though. And scale screws with everything. Wow. Let's do this OpenGL render 3D model. It's going to be a lot of technical jargon in here, more than likely, that we can't use, by the way. Can't use any of this. Okay. It's all using a custom shader program. And what I mean shader, by the way, is OpenGL uses these pieces of software called shaders to actually render everything. They're not shaders like you think when you're changing the color of textures and stuff. Let's check this guy out. It's about the same thing we were looking at a few minutes ago, so we can't do that. We're literally running into a problem. Let's try scaling last. Someone tells me that this is going to be a bad idea, but not that big of a difference. Yeah, it's a difference. I can't tell if its position's changing though. You know what I need to do real quick? This will help a lot. Is if engine.running as dev render utility.render cube 0.1 0.1 0.1 0. Actually, that's what I kind of wanted, and I wanted to put a 0 here. And what else do you want? You want a block, maybe? Yeah, you want a block. So block.sponge. Or block.redstone would actually be better. That'll work. That didn't just crash the game. No, it didn't. I don't see a block though in my view. I see one there. Yeah, right there's a redstone block. Where's the one on my screen? That didn't really help. I guess it's going to help me third person because what that does third person here. Why am everything scaled wrong now? That gives me a little dot that should never move. I can tell where the, I guess the center point of my render is. I actually don't think it's going to do the center point. The reason I say that is I think I need to do something like that. Because I think this renders with block physics, so means it's actually going to be centered weirdly. Yeah, that's better. Maybe if I get out of third person, I'll see it. I can sort of see it in my corner view there. So that's my center point that we were having problems rotating around. And for some reason, I've got a scale problem going on here, which I don't even want to know what's up with that. Okay. So the next thing we want to do real quickly is I want another one of these guys. Right before I scale, I want to render right where that position should have been. We want ice would be a good one. I need something that's a different color. Okay, see, that's where that's at. So we're just going to toy with the scale here. I want to see how far this moves every time I scale it. Now right now I'm not getting any movement out of that, so that's good. It's kind of what I want. That brings that back to me. Send it back out though. Now the weird thing is that should be, that little blue cube should be exactly where that model should be. And I can't tell which is wrong. Is it the blue cube or is it the rifle? Now we know the rifle should be perfectly centered, but it's not. This is one of those weird quirks with things. Is my rotation still enabled? Set rotation 0, 0, 0. Oh, now they match each other pretty much. Sorta. You know, I wonder if Minecraft is ignoring the weapon center point and is just going with whatever it wants to use. But I don't know how to... I have no clue how to figure that out. But we do know we're not rotating correctly. So if we sit here and toy with the rotation some more... This is where I just need a program to just rotate this for me. I mean, the cube's staying rotated on the outside of that, so it's working. So 120. So it was 90 is what we were going with originally, because that's kind of works. But then we wanted to pitch up a little bit, and now we're rolling instead of pitching. And this doesn't make any sense. Now we're rolling on both these coordinates. I don't understand at all what's going on. This is the reason I don't like doing graphics in Minecraft at all. And I just made a whole mod about this. Wow. Okay. I may have to go find somebody who actually knows what they're doing. Well, let's take a look at the code one more time. So we know if we scale last, it doesn't mess with our positioning. Now if we change that, we put that back up to here. So at this point, the only thing we can do is do some science. What is our scale? So set scale 1. Okay, if we do 2, it moves. So we know we want to do scale last. So we want to leave scale alone. Put it last. Now, doing the offset first, then rotating seems to work decently well. So maybe we want to continue doing that. Knock my microphone. Technical difficulties. That's the reason I also like desktop devices. This one's broken. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I never use this one, is it's mechanically broken. So it's a bit finicky, and any touch of it will cause it to fall over. And my dog is wanting it. Let me do get her outside. So what I want to do is I want to put another cube between here and rotation. And we want to just, I don't know, cobblestone? Cobblestone sounds nice. We changed something. Okay. Set scale 1. So cobblestone is where our offset position is. Blue is where our rotation position is. Now if I set rotation to 0, it'll match cobblestone. And Taz, come on. You were just outside. This dog will literally act like she's dying in order to be let outside. I'm just going to go ahead and end this here and take my dog for a walk until she's exhausted, and then feed her, and then hopefully she'll leave me alone for the rest of the day. Probably play with her some a bit too as well. So I'll see you guys next time.